Hey everybody, this is Jason Major with the Biblical Cinematic Universe, and today we're going to focus on the greatest story ever told. This is the novel that was written in 1949 by Fulton Oursler. You could say that it's a well-loved copy. Oops, I'm using this as a bookmark actually, the cover, because it's the cover's coming off. I'm on page 78 right now, as of this reading. But this book was written in 1948 by Fulton Oursler. This is a paperback copy, obviously, not the original. And it was a novelization of, obviously, of the Jesus story, but really rich with background history and stuff like that. And then the movie version, The Greatest Story Ever Told, this is a DVD copy from the early 2000s. So I'm commenting on this movie, not necessarily if there's an upgraded version since the making of this video. But mostly I'm commenting on the movie and the special features. So, this is directed by George Stevens and was made in 1965. So, this is probably the one that's known as the one with the all-star ensemble cast. And there's some names I'll just name a few because for the sake of the video, and I'm not focusing on all the actors here. But in terms of cameo appearances or small appearances, you have like Pat Boone, you have Shelley Winters, you have Charlton Heston, who plays John the Baptist, and he was in Ben-Hur, of course, as Judah Ben-Hur, and also you have Sidney Poitier, you have John Wayne even has one line as the Centurion. He just was always only in it for like 1 second, and Martin Landau, Angela Lansbury, and Roddy McDowall, and the list goes on and on and on. So if I haven't named your favorite one, you better check it out. The thing I want to focus on in this one video is that it includes 2 documentaries. One is a brand new documentary including old interviews with the director and the cast. And then there's another one which is a making of featurette, which looks like it's at least from probably the... It's an older one. I don't want to say when because I don't know when, but it's an old featurette, color TV, but still old. And both of the documentaries talk about how this was a multi-year project. It was one of the most expensive movies ever made at the time. This was although they scouted the Holy Land, it was filmed in the United States, and so in kind of the wilderness, and then you could see like they had thousands of extras where it was like they describe it like you had thousands of extras and crew there. They had to build the homes there, mobile homes there, and everything. It was just crazy the amount of effort and work that went into this movie, and I thought it was really interesting watching these behind the scenes features about how they made the movie and how they created the story. George Stevens was a famous director at the time. Let's get into the movie itself. The movie itself, I found it is more like this one would be more depending on your taste. So if you like classical movies from the 60s, you would probably enjoy this movie. If you like slow movies and meditative movies, you're going to enjoy this movie. If you're looking for more of an action-packed movie, even if you're someone who is a film buff, but like, we prefer Ben-Hur, but you're not really, not every Bible movie is your bag, meaning that unlike me, like I love all of them, then you're probably going to be like, I don't want to say depending on your age, because it doesn't matter your age. You could be a young person and enjoy older movies. You could be an older person and not enjoy older movies. So I just want to say that this is a slow-moving, meditative story. It has a feel of, and I say this in a respectful way, of a liturgical church. For those who don't know what that is, that's like an older church, like a Catholic church or Greek Orthodox, or maybe even a traditional Anglican church, where you got like a lot of it is just spoken word and stuff. You do have a lot of great acting in this, though. Max von Sydow, he was actually in Star Wars Force Awakens, actually, in a small role. But this is 3 hours and 19 minutes. It does have an intermission in between, which was kind of cool, and I kind of wish that they go back to that for 3-hour movies. That'd be kind of cool. Although I put on an intermission, I put like a little time clock that says how many minutes you have back, so you can return back in time. But anyways, probably in terms of this as a biblical movie, it covers all the Gospels. It covers all the main stories. You only get a little bit, of course, of the which happens a lot in Life of Christ movies, where the nativity and the birth of Christ is only a small factor, because they're focusing on the entire life of Christ. But I thought that this was really interesting. One of the mild spoilers for a movie based on the Bible is that Satan makes more of a bigger appearance. So that was interesting. He's not just in the temptation scene. He actually is later in the movie as well. He's in the background as an instigator for the crowds. So you'll see him in the background instigating the crowds, saying, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" I thought that was an interesting choice to show that eternal battle between good and evil. Jesus is definitely the Son of God in this. There is the idea of the power of resurrection. There's miracles. But I would say, and he is the divine Son of God, but make no mistake, but I would say that this is very much like Jesus is the Word of God in this. He's very much a good teacher. He very much talking about teaching in this movie. There's a lot of great scenes with these characters that are very much like paintings, is what I'm trying to get at. Like there's shots where like the Last Supper looks like it's a religious painting. There's another shot where it's the resurrection of Lazarus. That looks like a painting. So there's a lot of stuff that looks like he's pulling a lot from artistic paintings and artistic renditions from tradition, from classical tradition of the church. So if you like classical music, that's another reason why you might like the movie. Alfred Newman did the music. He's also a famous composer from the 60s. So I do recommend this movie. I'm going to give it a personal rating right now, today, of 7 out of 10. But that's why I'm saying, like, your rating will be, if you might watch this movie and get in 10 minutes and say, I'm bored. But there are people that will give it a 10 out of 10 because it is a crafted movie. It is a masterclass in directing, in my opinion, and in cinematography. So that is what I think is the value of this movie. And my final thought for this quick review is that Charlton Heston in this movie, he really does a good job in his minor performance. I thought he was real well done. I also like the actor who played King Herod, the King Herod who has him captive. That was kind of well done. So I just want to say I recommend this movie, and if you haven't seen it, you might want to check out the behind-the-scenes features on this if you've seen it before, and look for Blu-ray copies and 4K copies, and I'll look forward to looking for those in the future, to review those in the future. All right, this is great. Biblical Cinematic Universe. Keep watching the Bible movies.